everyone. Welcome back to Adventures with Edna. I'm Chris. Chance has the weekend off. And I thought we might do a follow-up on our last two videos from all the valve work we just did. With replacing those seals and having the head off and everything. Let everybody know how it's going. Obviously we're driving. So Edna's back together and we're cruising along. We're not totally done with this project yet. We still have the exhaust leak that was caused by the oil to fix. So right now, we're on our way to Napa. And we are picking up some gasket material because the gasket that's blown is on the header at the collector where it actually connects to the exhaust pipe. And it's a 4-bolt flange for a 3-inch collector. I think that's right. And anyway, you can't just pick up one of those gaskets just anywhere. And I didn't see anyone that had it online, so we're going to pick up some Pro gasket material to make our own gasket. So we got to get that fixed. We're still going through and checking the torque on the heads, or the head that we took off, and the intake to make sure that they are working just fine. Now make sure they're torqued down. So let's go pick up some gasket material. We'll get the engine good and hot. We'll get back home. We'll check the torque on the bolts. So let's do this. So this was really cool, but while we were out and about today, we spotted this F1 panel truck. It's a 51 or a 52, I'm not totally sure, just out in front of somebody's yard, so we stopped to get a couple pictures of it and decided we'd include it in the video today. Not only that, but we were also passing by one of our original video sites, and we saw where this U.S. Postal Service arrow has been repainted, and they've added this sign. And so if you haven't seen that video, definitely go back and check that out. All right, so our gasket situation didn't work out like we wanted to. We went by Napa. It said they had the gasket material we were going to use, but they didn't. And then so we went to Advance, and they didn't have it either, even though the website that said they had it, everybody had to order it. So it wasn't a get it today thing like we wanted it to be. But we did drive around and get the engine a little hot. I am going to show you guys something real quick. I'm going to start Edna back up real quick. So our exhaust leak, which is down here at the collector, is one thing that's kind of improved is that it doesn't look oily wet anymore where it did before, which caused the leak in the first place. But you can't just pick up that gasket locally, so that's why we were going to make one. But you can feel the exhaust coming out of it, which is why I know it's blown, and you can hear it when you're driving. So we're still going through and checking our head torque and our intake torque. It's been a week since Chance and I finished this. That was last Sunday, and now it's Sunday again. I've pretty well got this sequence memorized, all 24 bolts, but check it while it's hot here. See, it moved a hair. That one about 1/8 of a turn. So we are still getting some. This is kind of what I was saying about. You watch some channels and they just torque this thing down once, and then they're ready to go out, do power tour and whatever. And but in my experience, I feel like you got to kind of work with this a little bit and make sure, because you don't want this to be loose a week from now. So we're rechecking all these bolts along the way. I've done this several times over the course of the week. Get it good and hot. I checked it when it's cold, It's not. It doesn't seem too bad. Maybe we'll get lucky. This will be the last time. That one's moving a little bit. Now we get into the ones I hate doing the most. Right up here by the radiator where you got no room to move.
Are you okay? Is it bleeding?
No.
Are you sure?
Apparently it was infected. I think I just squirted out some kind of pus or something. It has been hurting. It's mad at me because I said I hated that bolt. That one moved a hair. These last ones being furthest away are actually the easiest ones to get to. That one moved a hair. All right, all 24. So something we did this week too is, I didn't mention it, but you guys may have seen it in the previous videos, that this heater hose right here had a kink in it because it's got to make pretty harsh bend. So I replaced it earlier this week with a 5/8 heater hose that already had a 90-degree bend in it. So that's no longer an issue. And then I went back and I put in these little grommets here and here so that we could, not have, well, for one, not have it engine fumes coming through those holes, and also so that the hoses themselves aren't just sitting on the metal firewall. But we still got to go back and cover up the rest of these holes. Like, I've got a plug here that's just painted over. I got a whole box of those somewhere that I can't find, but you can see we got plenty of other holes that all need to be filled. So we still got to go back and do that. Now, my torque wrench here, I've actually had in the truck with me. I've been checking this thing in parking lots randomly. So we're going to go back and recheck this thing. So I'll reset our torque back to 25 for the intake. I wasn't checking it at all, and then I think it was the day before yesterday, I decided to take a quick look at it and decided that it was not quite where it needed to be. Right there, we'll get that reset, and we'll go back through and check our torque on our intake bolts. And other than the torque value, these don't seem to have a specific order that you got to go through. So I've just been kind of starting in the middle. Yeah, that's a little hot. Starting in the middle and working my way outward, basically kind of like you do with torquing the heads. And these are moving a little bit, not a lot. This one you kind of got to get just right because you can't get on it straight. So you can see I'm getting a little bit of movement out of them.
Are the moves the clicks? Are the moves the clicks?
Yeah, once it gets to the torque value that you set it to, it then clicks to let you know you've reached it. You don't have to pull anymore. Let's see, we started on that one, so now this one is the next one. So you have to take the PCV valve out to get to this one, which isn't a super big deal. So those are all good. Now we'll run to the other side and get those ones.
Well,
Both of those, or did I just get the one? So very important that you keep all this checked. You can see we had, for the most part, the head bolts didn't quite move. Only a couple of them did a little bit. So maybe I'll check them one more time after this, just to make sure that they're, kosher, if you will. And intake should be fine. Most of them moved, but only a hair on the intake side. But they have a very low torque value of just 25 foot-pounds. Still plenty to do under this hood. You can see we never finished the wiring mess from when we put the electric fan in. So this needs to be cleaned up and made a little nicer. So just as kind of a final thought on this, I do feel like we did accomplish something, even though the project did not go as initially planned. We thought we were having an exhaust valve leak because we were getting that blue smoke occasionally. But like I said, it was intermittent. It didn't happen all the time. It's only been a week, but it has not done it once. Sometimes it's more likely to do it if I haven't driven it for a day or two. I didn't go anywhere Thursday or Friday, so we didn't get any smoke then. We didn't get any earlier during the week. It was kind of hard to say. There was one 20-degree morning where I started it up to take Chance to school, and it looked smoky, but you really couldn't tell. It just kind of seemed like cold morning exhaust. So I'm kind of thinking, based on the way the head gasket looks a little bit, that maybe we had some seepage that was just getting in there a different way, and maybe it wasn't the actual exhaust seals, or maybe it was actually coming through the intake, because we did replace those seals, and maybe I just assumed exhaust, but it's not, because we've seen that pipe now looks dry. And we haven't really seen any of the issues that we were having before. So all we really have right now is just the exhaust leak, which we'll have fixed soon enough. I'll just have to get that gasket material from somewhere else, and we'll make a new gasket to go on there. Again, Chance did really well. I'm still really proud of him for all the work that he put into this project. And then plus we got a lot of comments, and friends of mine text me just kind of saying what a good job Chance did, both with narrating the video and the actual work that he put into this. He really dug it a lot, and he says that he learned a lot. So that went really well. But Edna's pretty well back up and running, so we're all ready for new adventures. Don't forget, adventures are out there everywhere. You just got to look for them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.